One thing I always say is work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, then you may be working harder. So let's change that. Download the app, link your accounts where you can manage your income, track your expenses, and project your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download Solo and begin to work smarter, not harder today. Link is in the description. All right, let's get back to it. We are now going to be talking about Uber changing driving preferences, which I saw a lot of comments at the beginning of the show before it started. A lot of people were not too pleased with the driving
Well,
preferences.
this is a big issue. I mean, look, this is from my own app, but this was the most popular email topic that I received this week. Trust me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I believe
I've
it.
had multiple dozens of these from all over the country. Serge, they killed this. Serge, they did that. I'm like, bro, I don't even know. And then I flipped my app on. Here it was. A simpler way, Chris. A simpler way to
Oh
set
no
your
no
preference.
no,
Yeah.
not simpler.
Well, yeah, according to Fuber, it is simple way. Simple. It's simple now, folks. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So it says, "Hi, Sergio. We made updates to the Preferences Hub to simplify how trip types appear. Here's what you'll see, along with which trip types are included in each category." Now, folks, this is not new because they had done this. So we used to have a preference box, Chris, for everything like Uber um, pool now shared, right? Comfort and pet and whatever, right? So
Mm.
I know why they did this, by the way, right? Because Uber Green, Uber this, Uber Green Electric, we used to have a preference box for each one. So what did drivers do, Chris? And drivers could not keep their goddamn mouths shut. All over the YouTube, all over internet, they put out these Fight Club shit out there, Because what did people do, Chris? What people did was, if you're in a surge area and you flip on Uber Pet or Uber Green Electric trips are very, very rare, okay, or Comfort Electric trips. So they keep the surge moving. Bro, people, shut the F up. People are listening. These people are watching. This is one of the reasons they're doing this. Number one. Now, UberX box will have UberX, Share, Green, Priority Comfort, and Comfort Electric under all one roof. Well, there you go. Uber XL will have Uber XL and Uber XXL. Black and Premier will have Black and Premier, and SUV will have Black SUV, Premier SUV. So, according to Uber, you still have control over which categories are turned on or off. Yes, we do. But now you put all that jambalaya in one box in the Uber X box. Well, maybe there are people who just want to do Comfort Electric Uber or Comfort Uber. How about that? Now, what's going to happen? Their acceptance rate are going to definitely tank because Uber is going to send every garbage share Uber X trip. And we know in some cities and states, acceptance rate is tied to Uber Pro. And
And Advantage Standard.
So what you guys need to, if you have look, man, if you're a driver, savvy driver, and you have like a Fight Club thing going on, you need to just zip it and shut the F up and don't share it with anyone. Make it your own trade secret. I still have a few. I will never say it on air. I won't even tell it to my brother if I had a brother. So anyway, turning on a category means you may receive requests from any trip type listed under it. No shit, Uber. Look at this thing. The whole list is there. Everybody's there. And now you guys are all going to get bombarded. So you want to do Comfort? Good luck. You're going to get Uber X Share trip one after the other. And then add-on services automatically turn their parent category. For example, if you turn on Uber Pet, Uber X will also turn on. There goes your trick, whoever you are. If you turn Uber on Black hourly, Black will also turn on. These changes do not change your eligibility. If your vehicle qualifies for Comfort or Black, Premier, you'll continue to receive those trips when category is on. No changes to delivery or other trip types. So this was the most popular email I got this week. You know, a lot of people who drive EVs, right? They have Uber Green Electric, Comfort Electric, and they were like, "Oh shit, they put it under UberX." Yeah, because they don't want to actually get UberX or UberX shared trips. Well, now you're going to get it. And this brings to me, you know, last sentence about this from me is, what the hell kind of independent contractor am I? There you go.
Well, you know, you can still just not accept certain rides. If you see it come in as shared, you don't have to accept it, Sergio.
No, I don't.
You just let it go.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
And it'll tank my AR. It's already
okay, you know
tanked,
what?
and then not that
I'm
advantage.
gonna give every single person in chat a smart thing to do here.
Yeah.
If you don't want to take certain ride types, but have to because they're all lumped into one, and I'm speaking mostly about shared trips, or you know what the other ones. Maybe you want just Uber Pet, and you don't want to take X. Well, you know what? When all these X requests come in, when all these shared requests come in, do not hit decline. Don't do it. Let the timer run out because that's 10 seconds that has to wait. And if you get more and more drivers doing the same exact thing, maybe it bounces from driver to driver to driver, and then it's a couple of minutes. So that spinner time continues to spin. And hopefully, you know, that'll do something there. But I always say, you know what? This is exactly what it's going to do. It's going to allow for passengers to have to wait longer because drivers don't necessarily want to take particular ride types. And that is why they turned it off in their preferences in the first place.
Yeah.
So bundling it all together is just stupid on your part. And on top of that, if you want to bundle it together, you know, you should probably, again, all the green stuff should be under one. That's fine. All the you know, priority should be its own. Shared should probably be its own because there's a lot of drivers I know that just don't want to take it. So, you know, these types of things should be that. And then that way, yes, it helps keep that independent contractor a little bit not as murky as, you know, maybe it is right now. But yeah, when it comes down to it, that's a real problem. And so yeah, that's my advice to everybody is when these types of rides come in that you don't want to take, don't hit the decline button, don't hit the X button, just let the timer run out and do its thing. But on top of that, be prepared that this is going to affect your AR. So if this is something that you want to go for Uber Pro, you want to be standard versus advantage, you know, it's going to screw you. So yeah, Uber, congrats, good job, because now your national acceptance rate problem is going to go up.
It's going to get worse, right?
Smart move.
So Lyft is doing things to help the low AR situation, right? By putting more good information, you know, beneficial information on the app, on the ping screen, right? With the tipping and what the rider is usually ready and all that stuff. Uber goes, no, no, no. Yeah, this may also show, Chris, that they may not have a shortage of drivers, which is pretty obvious because by doing this, you know, I mean, people are not going to. And also, you know what it does, Chris? It makes it difficult. You have to really now pay attention to every ping. Let's say you want to do Comfort Electric, right? You really have to pay attention to the screen if there's a Comfort Electric trip coming in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like this, then is a lot more unsafe now. Just I really have to, my eye have to be glued for 10 seconds when the ping comes in, you know, like a Pavlov's dog. I have to pay attention to what's going on every single ping.
Now,
and I'm going like, it's too much work, man. Too much work.
Now, there is one thing that I want to know. I do not have this update in my app. So I can turn Uber Pet on by itself. UberX can stay off. I mean, you only have to have one preference on. If I want to just Uber Pet, I can turn off XL and X. So I can have just Uber Pet on. I know certain markets still have that. My question to everybody is who may have this, that has now this new parent, co-parent, or whatever, parent category, whatever they want to call it, on. I'm curious, do you have this? Meaning, like, if you just turn on Uber Pet, it will turn on X as well, or you've gotten this simpler way for your preferences, email. Did you get this? And are you a market that has advantage versus standard? Because I know for a fact in Florida, where it's advantage versus standard, it's the same thing because I got an email. I know in Boston, I think Matt was doing it. I believe Advantage Standard is there as well. So my question is this affecting Advantage Standard markets? And the question then becomes, why did they do that? And I have a feeling I know the reason why, but I'm curious. So again, everybody in chat, did you get something like this where, you got to have the parent category will turn on automatically, where everything's lumped together? And are you in an Advantage versus Standard, or are you not?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is not pleasant, obviously, but yeah, it is what it is. They rule. You play by their rules. This is the new rule that we have to, I mean, you can see it coming, right? Because they combined shared and X. It used to be separate. Now they're combining all this stuff together.
Yeah, I mean, they combined that a while ago. They combined Comfort and X a while ago. Priority was out for a little bit. That was one of the big changes, was Priority. The green stuff, I'm not sure because I don't have an electric car or a green car, so never had access to that to begin with. So I had UberX and Comfort was tied together, and Uber XL and then Uber Pet were the categories that you could use for riding, or for your preferences. So
we adapt, we adjust.
Okay, so you know what? That is kind of interesting. It seems like a lot of people are saying where this is happening is Advantage and Standard markets.
Yeah, they still have it in San Francisco and New Jersey. They have Pet and they have X. So,
well,
separate.
What I'm saying, huh? Well,
separately.
I mean, yeah, like Robert, you said New Jersey, yes. Guess what? Heiser won. Yes, in San Francisco, what? What does that mean? Like, you have Advantage Standard and these are coming in where you have the preferences? Because again, I really think that this is something to do with Advantage versus Standard. And it's probably because maybe they don't want to necessarily pay you the 5% more and they just wanted a 5% cut because why not?
Yeah. Well, but we know the 5% is bullshit anyway, so it's okay. Whatever.
Well, that's what I mean. It's a 5% pay cut.
Yep.
So,
all right.
All right. With that being said, yes, we understand the frustrations. Unfortunately, it is what it is right now. So hopefully, like I say, use my advice and just let the timer run out on the ride requests that you don't want instead of hitting the decline or the X button. And then that way, hopefully it'll send a message to them.
Yeah. Well, this proves over and over again. Jeff from Florida, Norma's tits, before he got kicked out by someone, it wasn't us, Jeff. So, it's not, we're not trampling your First Amendment right here. We really don't put anybody in timeout, and there have been a lot of deserving people to do so, but we don't do it. Long story short, he said two things. You have no control. This is it. Other than turning the app on or off, you have no control. Now you have no control over your preferences. Pretty soon, it'll be just one box. Just drive.
All right, so here we go. Yep. Forced to have X on if pet is enabled. Yes, Standard, Advantage, and San Fran. So yes, it does look like the markets that have Advantage and Standard are the markets affected with this change. If you don't have Advantage and Standard, it looks like you don't have preferences change. And I wonder why they did that. I'm sure we all can figure out the reason why, but I'm sure 5% does matter. 5% does matter.
If you're a full-time driver, it does.
You made before Advantage Standard comes in, they mark down your pay by 5%. So it's a 5% pay cut. You don't really earn more. You made what you used to.
Yeah.
And, we know these companies are greedy. So 5% to them is every nickel and dime that they can possibly get. So if they can try to actually keep that you in Standard versus Advantage, that 5% pay cut that you had,
5% ain't what you see it is. Don't think so. But we're going to test that anyway.
Think about it. Think about the millions of rides that are going on at any given time. 5% adds up. All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.